It is the Mike Show. It's the Tuesday edition. That means Megan Huffman joins us from SHARE Greater Lynchburg and the Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. You are very, very busy right now getting prepared for a very, very big to-do tomorrow.
Yes. Well, we're coming off of the Virginia Fundraising Institute conference, which was last week.
How was that?
It was awesome in Williamsburg, right in downtown Colonial Williamsburg, which was so nice. And we had about 25 individuals who were fundraisers from the Lynchburg region at that conference.
Yeah, it looked like a really good group.
It was an awesome group of people. And just another, like, we think of summer as kind of a quieter time, but man, it's a time of collaboration and connection and training and planning. And so it was a really strategic time to get together. And then we had some meals together, just fellowship. And it was really, really nice. But it lends itself well into this next week, which tomorrow is our nonprofit summit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I believe it's the 6th nonprofit summit. I probably should check that. But we did it at the University of Lynchburg for a few years. It's now at the Lynchburg Regional Business Alliance, and leaders and business leaders from across the region in a one-day seminar. So it's from 8 to 5 tomorrow at the summit. There's still time to register.
Okay.
You can come in and walk in and register, come for part of the day. It's a great day of learning and connection, and it always really sets us up well for a lot of us kind of start our fiscal year in July as the nonprofits. And so it really cements some great relationships that we can carry into the new year.
About how many nonprofits are going to take place in this?
Well, each year that number grows a bit as we get the word out. But last year there were 65 different organizations represented among 135 attendees. Because it's housed at the Lynchburg Regional Business Alliance, they do a really nice job promoting it to their business community. And so we'll have board members and business leaders who want to come and support. So, for example, the Freedom First Credit Union is the lead sponsor for the event because they really believe in that work. And of course, the Community Foundation and SHARE are sponsors as well. The breakfast partner is U.S. Pipe, so really neat for the first time. They're leaning in as a corporate sponsor.
Great.
We have a reception partner, Armstrong McGuire, which is a consultant that helps place high-quality staff for nonprofits, and they're going to be our keynote. And then, of course, the United Way, 518 Family Services, and Centra as well are partners.
Oh, well, this sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
So what can folks expect that have registered and maybe this is their first time, or folks that haven't registered yet and maybe thinking, well, I could go to that?
Yeah, well, it's a planning committee works on this for a whole year, made up of nonprofit leaders and consultants from around the community. And the theme that we've come up with this year is people, power, capacity, strategy, and talent. So realize that the people are your treasure in your organization, and we really need to in order to retain good employees, we need to invest in them and make sure that we're taking care of our staff. And how are we being strategic and recruiting great talent? We're going to be seeing some shifts in retirements across the sector. How are we preparing for that? What's that bench look like? And how are we making sure we're taking care of the folks that we have right now. So we're going to be talking about resiliency, aligning strategy, talent, and capacity with a keynote from Armstrong McGuire. And then throughout the day, there are 2 different breakout sessions. So we'll have some local familiar faces that like Laura Hamilton, who was the former executive director for Beacon of Hope. She's going to be talking about building resilient nonprofits. We have Culture Keeps the Score: Why People Stay or Leave Quietly. Systems approach to consumer-centered care. So that's all about caring for your people, caring for your clients, being resilient. And then we have a lunch provided by Qdoba. And then in the afternoon, how we choose strategic growth, how an expert to come in and talk about generations in the workplace and kind of how different generations tackle different objectives and how we can work together across generations. And then using AI to increase efficiency. And then at the conclusion, we're going to be having a discussion, a closing panel of the Philanthropy Roundtable, which is made up of philanthropists from across the region, and including United Way, Centra, the Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation, Freedom First Credit Union, and Bedford Health Foundation, to talk about kind of best practices, what they're seeing for capacity growth and collaborative efforts to funding as resources are shrinking right now across our region. How can we be smarter about fundraising and collaboration together?
Absolutely. Well, and if you are part of a nonprofit organization and you're not already signed up for this, you might want to check your calendar and make time for this, because this sounds like a great day of learning. And getting to know people and networking.
Right. And then throughout the day, there are tables set up all around the room of resources, and the committee that's planned this event will have informational tables to continue to connect and learn. And we gather a lot of data and needs at this event that help kind of drive the rest of the programming for SHARE for the year.
Okay.
So it's important to come and kind of have your voice weigh in, because that's what's driving the CVAIN content and the United Way workshops and the LRBA and SHARE.
Lunch and Learns, all of it.
Lunch and Learn. So it helps inform the trajectory of the next year.
Okay. Well, if you'd like more information about this, you can obviously go to sharegreaterlynchburg.org and just scroll down on their homepage, and you'll see the link for the Nonprofit Summit. Just click on it, and you'll learn, and then I would imagine there's a click-through there that you could register or even learn some additional things about the Nonprofit Summit coming up tomorrow. And that's, again, it's going to be taking place at the Alliance building right here in downtown.
Right.
8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Register, and as Megan said, if you just come for part of the day, you'll still learn a lot.
Yeah, I've been encouraging folks, even if you can just come at lunch and stay through the afternoon or vice versa. It's a great day. So.
Okay.
I just want to say something, because I know Megan won't, but she was recently named by Lynchburg Magazine as Lynchburg Business Magazine as one of the 50 most influential people in our area. And
Thanks, Bill.
For me, that was a clear choice. She has done more in the last several years than anybody I can think of.
Blush.
I know, that's what I wanted to do. I'm trying to embarrass her. No, she's the most humble, hardworking, smart person that I can think of right now.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that.
And people need to know that you're being recognized.
And I appreciate all of that you did all the way back to 2019. Remember, we had that workshop at the University of Lynchburg that was all about breaking down silos, and everyone was like, you're in your silo, and you're in your silo. And we kind of identified some challenges. And that was February, March of 20, actually.
Was it?
And then 2 weeks later, COVID hit, and then we built this SHARE thing. So it's been really cool to think about how these summits or these gatherings of people have brought together everyone. So it's totally a team effort.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting to me that SHARE Greater Lynchburg came out of basically a group that Ron Feynman put together to try to help nonprofits locally recover from COVID.
Right.
So that was the initial impetus, and thanks to Ron for that, and thanks to you for taking that bull by the horns and making it the success that it is now. It's really tremendous.
Well, thank you. And we wouldn't be successful without the Community Foundation adopting it. You let me be a squatter for a few years at the foundation, and then eventually we formalized the agreement, and I officially, it's a program of the foundation. So thanks for saying that. And we have a lunch and learn next week that I'm super excited about. We have those every month. The first Wednesday of the month is what we aim for, and it's going to be at the Refuge on Memorial, which is a brand new overnight low barrier shelter for unhoused individuals in our community. We all know that there are not enough beds. There are not enough beds for everyone for the unhoused community, and the Refuge has really answered that call. And the thing I love about it is that the Miriam's House Continuum of Care, the continuum of care that is led by the Miriam's House, have really come alongside this shelter. And it's like not the sense of, oh, we've got this covered, but oh, thank you for your interest in adding to this need. How can we support you with best practices and the things that we've learned. And I think them being folded into the network and supported, and for a church community like the Ramp to be the underpinning of this with a volunteer base is huge. They have a lot of volunteer needs, and so we're going to be kind of uncovering those in person on the 5th at noon at the Ramp. At the Refuge Memorial as well. So you can find information about that on our website as well.
And there's lunches provided.
Yes,
as
lunch
well.
is provided. Jersey Mike's always.
Nice. So learn more about that. And do you need to register in advance?
Yes, and I will have that in our newsletter and on our homepage within the hour.
Okay. It's sharegreaterlynchburg.org. Visit that. There's over 200 organizations, 207 to be exact, represented on the SHARE platform. And if you're part of a nonprofit organization and you are not listed on the SHARE platform, it's free. So what are you waiting for? Get on there. There's volunteer opportunities, and you can post those things as well. There are all the different events that SHARE organizes or helps to facilitate. Those are all on there as well, and you can even shop for these organizations right from the SHARE platform and make donations too. Learn more, visit sharegreaterlynchburg.org. One thing I was going to ask was, from the time that going back to 2020, when you were identifying the needs of the community and the collaborative or the lack of collaboration amongst some nonprofits. How has that changed between then and now, as far as the collaboration? You've definitely seen a lot more of that. Yeah,
well, absolutely. I think it became the abundance kind of became the rule of the game and versus scarcity. And I think when we launched with a workshop on scarcity versus abundance mentality. And when we have a sense of scarcity, there's not enough resources, I've got to hold my cards tight, I'm not going to collaborate, I'm not going to keep it here, then we can't, it's a stagnant culture for us to have in our community. And because of the entrepreneurial time that our city and our region is in, with so much growth and abundance, I think the collaboration became the name of the game. And I think that it's repetition, just like if you're teaching a child, it's all about it's repeating and getting back together. We're going to be better if we collaborate. And then when we have funders who are continuing to say we are making funding choices based upon knowing that you've done your homework, you've done your market research, and you're collaborating, then that really drives the results. It's one thing to say it, but if you say we prefer to fund organizations that play nice in the sandbox with one another, then you're going to see those results. And I think that just takes time. And we're almost 6 years into that model, or at least a SHARE being part of it. And I think the leadership has really, the gatherers are gathering, the philanthropists are gathering, the nonprofits are gathering, the corporate, and when we spend face time with one another, it helps. And then also, I think we were all so deprived of connection during COVID that we came out of that with this gratitude for being able to spend time in the same space. I mean, really, when we were in COVID, did you ever think we'd ever have a 150-person in-person conference ever again? We knew we were never going to see salad bars again.
It was a stretch.
It's we're never going to be together again.
Well, and I think some of that, you mentioned leadership. We got some new leadership in various places that were much more open to collaboration. And one that comes to mind is the late Bill Varner, who he and I started. It was unheard of for United Way and the Community Foundation to cooperate on anything, because we were very siloed. We were very protective of our resources and our donors. And Bill was open to talking about doing joint ventures and things, and that really helped kickstart that. But a lot of that happened.
Yes.
Do you find an efficiency to scale now existing where maybe it didn't when there was duplication of services or duplication of programs, and now have you seen that's kind of the thinning of that and really focusing on things that are needed rather than duplicating? I think
it's not solved. I think we're on that journey, and I think we have to, I was just talking this morning with Pat Young at the Centra Foundation, Centra Health, and about how bringing more institutions into the fold. So how are we bringing the faith communities and the academic institutions? How is that circle expanding so that we are communicating well among many different sectors, so that we're again siloing, and we're not duplicating. I mean, there's a lot of food pantries. There's a lot of, you name the thing. How can we be continuing to network and communicate among sectors, and as we grow as a city and a community and a region, to ensure that we're not serving the same?
Well, so much of it was awareness. I mean, we didn't know what the other people were doing. And one of the great things about SHARE Greater Lynchburg as an organization, as a website, is that now people in this community are much more aware of who else is doing what and who's doing that. I couldn't tell you how many times someone would come into the office when I was at the foundation and say, I want to start a nonprofit that does this. Well, are you aware there's 6 others that are doing that now? And now awareness is huge. And I give a lot of credit to you and to SHARE for making that awareness
and just
apparent.
proximity to one another, like the fact that we just knowing about each other, and then the tool is such a great resource for the Howler Hillcats Howler community. When they're looking to partner with nonprofits, they use SHARE as their one-stop shop to reach out and say, hey, we want to support a baseball game for your nonprofit. So how many institutions like that, sports institutions, banking, technology companies that are moving to the market, say, oh, I want to do food insecurity, let me look up who's out there. So it's a great prospecting tool.
Absolutely.
It is. Mm-hmm. Great.
Again, you can learn more at sharegreaterlynchburg.org, and if you're a nonprofit that's not part of the organization, not part of the platform, you need to be. So reach out to Megan, and she'll get you hooked up. And also, if you can make it, if you can get out to the Nonprofit Summit tomorrow, you can learn more about that on the website as well. All right. Have we solved everything?
I think so.
I think this has been a great
today,
discussion.
It's 10:18. We can go home now.
Well, okay. All right. Good night, everybody. All right. It is the Mike Show, Tuesday edition. Coming up a little bit later on, we have your audio vault. Stay tuned for that.